Have you ever received a file like a photo, PDF, or document, and you wanted a quick way to check it out without launching the app? This is where Quick Look comes in handy. Quick Look is a convenient feature built into the Mac operating system that lets you preview the contents of a file without actually opening up the app it was created in or the default app that it opens up in. Let's first take a look at how we can use Quick Look to open up a document. When we go over to my Mac here, I have a folder called Work, and I have a number of different files in here. We can see we have some PDFs, screenshots, and then I have a couple of numbers documents, a pages document, and even a Microsoft Word document. Now, if I was looking for a specific file, let's go with my work in process here. Let's say I was looking for a specific file. The name is not descriptive enough for me to figure out which file I'm looking for. That happens quite often with me. I don't give it a good enough description. So what I would like to do is open it up to see if I'm looking at the right document. Like I said, this is where Quick Look comes in handy. All we need to do is just select it. So I have this file here selected. I don't double click on it. All I do is just select it. And then to open up this file using Quick Look, you just tap the space bar. That's all you need to do. And watch how quick I get this preview. I tap the space bar, and there's my preview. This isn't the file that I'm looking for, so now I can close this. I need to open up another document. All I do is tap the spacebar to close it, and then I go over to the next file, and I tap on the spacebar again, and I can see that file, or the contents of that file. This does work with multiple types of documents. If we go over here to this image, I select it, tap the spacebar, I can look at that image. Here's a PDF. Select it. There's my PDF. With PDFs, I can actually go and select different pages within that PDF. And it even works with Microsoft Word documents. This is a Word document. So I select it, and I can view that document. Tap on the spacebar again to close it. So that's the basics of how we work with Quick Look. We just tap on the spacebar after we select our file. Now, in addition to that, what we're also able to do is traverse through a folder using the arrow keys on our Mac. So let's go back over to my work in process here. I have here 4 files. I'm not sure which file I want to open. All I need to do is just select the first file here. So I tap on it to select it, or click on it to select it, and then tap on the space bar. I have my Quick Look. But now, instead of closing it, if I just use the arrow keys on my Mac, so I just hit the down arrow, I'm looking at the next document. I tap on the down arrow again, I'm looking at the next document. I tap on the down arrow one more time, and now I'm looking at my Pages document. So I can also use Quick Look to traverse through a folder. Now, once you find your document that you want to open, how can you open it up? Well, when we go back over to Quick Look, if we look in the upper right-hand corner, so I'm looking at my Pages document here. If we go to the upper right-hand corner of Quick Look, you're going to see it says Open in Pages. All I need to do is just select this, and it'll open up that document in Pages. It's going to open up Pages, and then it's going to close Quick Look and open up the actual document. So now I'm looking at the actual document in Pages. Let's go and quit. I want to go to my simple budget. This is a numbers document. Well, when we use Quick Look, tap on the space bar, you're going to see it says open up with numbers. So now I just select this, and it opens it up in numbers. Closes a Quick Look, opens it up in numbers. So that's how we can open them up using our Quick Look. Now, in addition to opening up the document within the default app, we can also access markup tools, and if it's an image, we can rotate the image using Quick Look. Let's go over to my image here. I'm going to select this image here, and now what I do is I tap on the spacebar to open up in Quick Look. If we look here, you're going to see that the orientation of this image is wrong. Well, with Quick Look, what we're able to do is quickly rotate it by 90-degree increments, being that it's an image. So if we go up to the toolbar in our Quick Look, you're going to see we have this little square with an arrow. I just click on this, and you're going to see that it is rotating it 90 degrees. When I am done, this is the orientation that I want. I just tap on the spacebar again, and it closes it. It saved that orientation. So now when I use Quick Look to open it up again, we can see that it is in the right orientation. Now, in addition to that, we also have quick access to markup tools depending on the document. When we're looking at this image here, tap on the spacebar to open it up in Quick Look. We can see that in our toolbar here we have Markup. I click on this and I have access to all of the markup tools. When I'm done marking it up, I just click on Done here. Brings me back to my Quick Look, and now I tap the spacebar. So we have to click on Done and then tap the spacebar to close Quick Look. If we go over to this PDF here, select it, tap on the spacebar, it opens up, and from here I'm able to mark this up. Click on it, and again I have all of my different tools. Once I am done marking it up, I go over to Done, and then I tap the spacebar to close it. Now, access to these markup tools are not available on all types of documents. If we go back over to my numbers document, you're going to see that when I tap on Quick Look or the spacebar to open up Quick Look, I do not have access to markup tools. So markup is not available on all types of documents. So if you want to mark it up, you may not be able to do that using Quick Look depending on the type of document. So that is how we use Quick Look to get a quick look at our document without actually opening up in the default app. We just select the file and then tap on the spacebar. If we want to open it up in the default app, we can do that as well. And then depending on the type of document, we can also access our markup tools. So that's how we use Quick Look on the Mac.